Becoming a homeowner. That's the American dream, right? Whether it's now or later, there's a chance it's in your future. For Eric and Violet, it's definitely now. You see, they've outgrown their studio apartment and are looking for a place with a few more windows. So they did the usual looking around online and came across something not so usual. Enter Movement Mortgage. Most people know the mortgage process can be overwhelming, to say the least. But Movement has developed a system that is changing the industry as we know it. To do this, you need one-of-a-kind people. Take Kirsten, for example.
Kirstyn.
She happens to know all about
South Carolina Ops Coordinator.
This innovative process.
Dun, 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 dun. So we try to make it easy as possible for borrowers to fill out the loan application. So they can go to our website, and on there we have what we call our Easy app, which allows us to collect all the financial data needed for approval. They can then connect their bank accounts, pull statements, sync online tax software, and that really jumpstarts our 671 process, which is our 6-hour underwrite, 7-day to process, 1 day to close.
Interesting. 6-hour underwrite, 7-day process, 1 day to close. Those are some fancy terms. But what do they really mean? Let's begin with what happens up front. Underwriting. Yes, underwriting. What is that?
So I get that question all the time. What do you do? What does an underwriter do? An underwriter reviews documentation, which would be based off of main things: collateral, credit, income, and assets. And our goal is to basically analyze to see, is this person creditworthy?
They know the guidelines, they know the ins and outs of what's required for each loan program, and they get to say, here's what we can do with this, and everything looks good, and you have our stamp of approval as a company, and you've got a financial picture that allows somebody to have their home.
The great thing about that is that it happens first. And when the underwriter does this initial review, they have a goal of pre-approving the file within the first 6 hours. Now our future homeowners can shop for a home knowing exactly what they are approved for. Next, the underwriter makes a list of conditions, or items the file needs before it can be fully approved. Then it's sent immediately to...
It's just rolling. Okay, cool.
A processor.
So basically, as a processor, we take the mortgage application after it's passed through underwriting. We take the condition sheet that the underwriter has provided us, and we go fulfill those conditions.
It's constantly being on the phone, following up with people, sometimes even reaching out to the borrower themselves.
We're usually looking for income documentation, contracts.
They're going to reach out to the employers, bank
A
statements,
lot of it's just credit reports,
tax returns,
addendums,
pay stubs,
homeowners insurance. Our goal at Movement is for the processor to complete everything within 7 business days.
Now, while it's just a goal, sticking to this 7-day process is part of Movement's DNA.
I think what sets us apart from our peers in the industry is we're the only ones that really try. You know, we actually have the goal.
Once the processor has fulfilled the conditions set by the underwriter, they send it back to the underwriter for the clear to close. All right, so at this point, the file has been approved, processed, and is ready to go into closing. But let's not forget about quality control. Movement has an entire department dedicated to ensuring information is accurate. Another thing, they have dedicated teams that handle every part of the loan, all in the same place.
It's a very integrated system. You know, we sit close to the processors, we sit close to the closers, we sit close to everybody. So if we have issues, we can literally stand up and walk 15, 20 feet in some cases and go get it resolved usually. It's just a lot easier to get things done when you're allowed to just go talk to people.
When it comes to the mortgage industry, all roads lead to closing. The moment when all the hard work of operations falls into the lap of a closer, who in just 24 hours assembles what's called a closing package, which basically looks like...
You ever bought a house? Oh, you never bought a home? Okay, it should be about that thick, full of docs.
Docs that until now have been a series of files and virtual data worked on and shared between various people and various departments. You see, when the closer's job is done, we have a loan, ready to go straight to the closing table, where it will be joined with, yes, the borrower.
You know, they say there's a lot of little details that happen in the mortgage process, a lot of in-betweens, a lot of sign on the dotted line. But this is the moment that really is going to get them in the front door of their new home.
Which brings us back to Eric and Violet. What they wanted was a home, and they found a team of people who helped make the dream come true. A team of people who cared enough to make sure the loan was right. fast enough that the couple could make an offer as soon as they found what they were looking for. Their very own home. Sweet home.